Yes.
So is this an awareness project, or obviously it is, and with that, what do we do concretely to change what we see as hopeless or hopeful?
Well, when you say awareness project, what do you mean?
In your project here with this media, obviously we're becoming aware of people's feelings of hopefulness or hopelessness, and you will be showing this to whom, and in doing that, obviously to me it would be making people aware of situations, and that's good, but I think we all know of the situation, but what will this, or what do you hope that this will stir to make betterment?
One of the things I hope people get to see, especially the people who feel hopeless about the city, about 21st century, or themselves, is they get to hear what it sounds like. They get to hear what it looks like. They get to see how it makes other people feel, or perhaps how it makes them feel. Against people who have hope and have a vision and have an idea of what they'd like tomorrow to be like. And, as I said, to get the citizens of the United States past I have a dream when they think about Martin Luther King. It is sad to me the way in which King's legacy and work has been misrepresented. For example, King is often characterized as a great speaker, as if the mind that engages that rhetoric is someplace separate. He's never talked about as an intellect. He's never talked about as a scholar. And I think more problematically, he is separated from the structural inequality and injustice that made his work necessary and that made the work of the people who he led necessary. Just one day decided to be a Prince of Peace. And it's unfair to his legacy, and I think it continues to infantilize Americans about that gulf between our principles and our practices. So what I know is nobody had any idea when 3 people came to my high school: Isaac Foy, David Manker, and Curtis Brown. These were 3 African-American students at the Philadelphia College of Art who insisted that they go to schools in Philadelphia and inspire and encourage students to go to college. Not necessarily art college, but just go to college and let them know what's possible. Nobody could tell them that the impact of them coming to my school would lead to me being here. So it's the unknown about this work and the unknown impacts that engage me with it. Yes?
How do we get through the challenges of working on projects of longevity, which is kind of in direct contrast to society and, going by instant gratification? Everything around us is we need it now, faster, new technologies coming out every day just to make things happen and snap. I mean, how do you keep yourself moving forward on something you know that probably will last longer than or take longer than people's interest lasts?
I know people get tired of running from themselves or running after the elusive. And when they settle down and get quiet, my work will be there. And it's not about getting everybody. It's about getting somebody who will drag somebody else to that work, and ideally expand the audience that way. And I think, again, it's an issue of commitment. I am somebody who is the product of commitment. My parents were committed to their children. My parents, before they became ancestors, they were married over 50 years. And we knew they didn't see everything eye to eye. We knew that. But they were one accord as to their expectations of their children. And being the firstborn son, my expectations were a little bit higher than everybody else's. And so, again, I think the amount of time I spend with people who are not artists, who are not academics, helps me remain focused and patient with my process, because I'm not the only one anticipating my work. Yes?
Now, you said you plan on taking the project like other places.
That's my hope.
Other countries.
That's my hope.
Your hope. Have you started anywhere else? And if so, can you draw any parallels or talk about the differences between anywhere else you kind of started working on it?
The only place appropriate to begin this is Detroit, Michigan. Because I mentioned this earlier in the radio interview today. You're familiar with all these artists who are coming, many of them photographers, photographing the relics of the industrial past of this grand city. And one of the things that characterizes a lot of the conversations I hear before I got to Detroit, and certainly afterwards, listening to talk radio, is how much people talk about what was. We used to do this, we used to be that, we used to. And I really believe it impacts people's ability to see what the future can be. And I believe if I work this out in Detroit, I can work it out anywhere. And so no, I'm on a tightrope, bro. This is a tightrope, and most of my projects are epic in length. So I wanted to see what I could do in months. Now, that project I showed from Sprint, the challenge I set up for myself then was 2 weeks. And this is the first time I'd ever used digital equipment. I came down there with a Nikon D3 or something like that. And I'd never done any of this before. I had no idea what I was going to see. But I went to that fitness center. I got up at 6:30 in the morning, took classes with the employees, and I just sat at one point and asked the center, I said, what do you want? What do you want in here? What do you want in here? And so what I did was I noticed that there were two things that happened in that space. Televisions were all over. They were all over. And they were oftentimes, it was this period of time where nothing but these commercials for get fit quick solutions would be on in the gym. While people are sweating like pigs, you got this ad saying $29.99. You don't need the gym. And then the other thing was that people would weigh themselves before and after a workout. I had never seen anything like this in my life. And so that helped me understand that I needed to do something to take the weight of this pursuit of the ideal body off of these people. And that process of being intuitive and intentional is what I love about my process. Because I don't know what's going to happen. That's why I do it. I have no idea what's going to happen. So, no, this is tabula rasa. First time we're going to do this here. And because I'm in Detroit, I'm hopeful. Any other questions? Oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much.